Hello, I'm George Sellers, Creative Director of Studio A Home. Thank you for joining us for Show and Tell. This spring and summer we'll be introducing some elegant new mirrors in shapes in nickel and some really amazing three-dimensional ceramic wall decor in matte white.
Here we have the Symbols mirror. It is a Studio A Home mirror that is part of the New West collection that was developed in conjunction with the New Mexico Museum Foundation. We go to the New Mexico Museum Foundation, these multiple museums in and around Santa Fe. We take photographs of different items and articles that they have in their collection, and then it's up to us to work with those inspirational things that we can find, but to completely recreate it in another manner, so we're not doing reproduction work, but we're doing inspiration work. So the inspiration for this is obviously a series of symbols from one of the Native American Indian tribes. I think a really fine job was done on this mirror, creating these individual tiles that each carry a similar kind of symbol. That's how the name came about, the symbol mirror. And actually there's 4 individual patterns on here, but it looks like many more because they're turned each time they're attached to the iron frame. They're made of cast aluminum with an antique nickel finish on the surface, and then they surround this mirror in a really creative and beautiful way, held in place again on this really beautiful iron frame that supports the weight of all these individual cast aluminum tiles. We have a set of 4 individual ceramic plates that lend themselves to that whole idea of three-dimensional wall decor very nicely. These are made by a pair of brothers that own a very small factory in Nove, Italy, and they helped create these for us out of their ceramic ware, and they have a beautiful soft, it's called a soft white glaze on them. They're called the Maitake plates, and this one is the crosshatch, this is the ridges, this is the dot, and this is the curl. Each one of them comes with this very clever little L-shaped screw that allows us to hook into the back edge of the plate. You can see that there's a really nice back edge on the plate, and these screws actually allow the plate to be mounted onto the wall, and you can actually spin it different directions depending on how you want it to be presented in the room setting that you're establishing it in. The Maitake ceramic plate collection made exclusively for Studio A Home in Italy. We have the Valencia Mirror from the Studio A Home collection. This mirror is made in India, and it's a very specific technique that they use to make this kind of mirror, and a lot of product that we actually had in both Studio A Home and Global Views is made in a very similar fashion. The entire piece is formulated from MDF, and then they do carved wooden attachments on top of the MDF that they then cover completely with a white German metal leaf material. It is a thin metal material that is laid on the surface, and then it's hammered into place so it completely covers the wooden and MDF frame below. And then there are very small tacks that hold the German metal leaf in place. It's a technique that they've done in India for many, many centuries, and we've modernized it in so many ways and so many different uses. This mirror comes in this really beautiful kind of antique silver finish, and also in a really beautiful antique gold finish within the Studio A Home collection. Again, it's a really generously sized mirror, and I think it creates a lot of opportunities to use this in multiple ways. This mirror hangs both vertically and horizontally, so you can use it in many, many different settings within a home environment. It hangs on a cleat system, a basic cleat system, and we can also attach and include with this mirror a locking mechanism if we need to place it into a hospitality or a hotel environment. The mirror also has a very generously sized bevel all the way around on the interior of the frame. This is about 1.5 inches bevel, and some of the bevel is hidden on the back side of the wooden frame. But nevertheless, it creates a nice additional quality detail that we try to put into all the mirrors that we sell. Here we're introducing you to a Studio A home mirror called the PIMLICO mirror. This mirror is in a beautiful cast brass material with a nickel-plated finish. We also carry this mirror in an incredible cast brass finish, but a natural brass finish and shiny brass. So it's formulated from some antique door pulls that we bought in London in an antique shop that came from a bank that had been demolished and torn down. So they salvaged the handles and we bought them. You can see there's 2 different handles in this process. Here is one of the panels of the handle, and then down here at the bottom is the second panel of the mirror, of the handle. And what they've done is they've taken this panel and then they flip it. You can see here the snake motif, it just flips up and then travels back to the top and repeats what's down here at the bottom as well at the top. The handle across the top is the same as the handle across the bottom, and again it's been flipped, so this moon motif, if you will, is duplicated in an opposite kind of position because it's been flipped. These are made from a lost wax casting technique that's very difficult to achieve, but the results are like no other cast brass material that you can see in the marketplace. The detail level is very sharp and very exacting, and it makes for a really high quality finish when you do lost wax casting. As with almost all of our mirrors, this one has a really beautiful bevel around the outside of the mirror. It will hang vertically or horizontally. And I actually suggested this mirror for a good friend of mine to put in her home in her powder room bath. So it does make a really beautiful powder room bath mirror. But it would also work equally well in an entrance hall or any kind of a place where you'd like to make a really bold statement with a beautiful mirror.
Thank you for joining us for Show and Tell. And there you have it.